Ladies and gentlemen, the flags of the Rotary world. The flag of Afghanistan, Albania, Algeria, Andorra, Angola, Antigua and Barbuda, Argentina, Armenia, representing Norfolk Island, Australia, Austria, Azerbaijan, Bahamas, Bahrain, Bangladesh, Barbados, Belarus, Belgium, Belize, Benin, Bhutan, Bolivia, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Botswana, Brazil, Brunei, Bulgaria, Burkina Faso, Burundi, Cabo Verde, Cambodia, Cameroon, Central African Republic, Chad, Chile, representing Hong Kong, and Macau, People's Republic of China, Colombia, Comoro Islands, Congo, Costa Rica, Côte d'Ivoire, Croatia, Cyprus, Czech Republic, Democratic Republic of Congo, representing Faroe Islands and Greenland, Denmark, Djibouti, Dominica, Dominican Republic, Ecuador, Egypt, El Salvador, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Estonia, Kingdom of Eswatini, Ethiopia, Fiji, representing Åland Islands, Finland, representing French Guiana, French Polynesia, French West Indies, Mayotte, New Caledonia, Réunion, Saint-Martin, and Saint-Pierre et Miquelon. France. Gabon. Gambia. Georgia. Germany. Ghana. Greece. Grenada. Guatemala. Guinea. Guinea-Bissau. Guyana. Haiti. Honduras. Hungary. Iceland. Indonesia. Iraq. Ireland. Israel. Italy. Jamaica. Japan. Jordan. Kazakhstan. Kenya. Republic of Kiribati. Republic of Korea. Republic of Kosovo. Kyrgyzstan. People's Democratic Republic of Laos. Latvia. Lebanon. Lesotho. Liberia. Liechtenstein. Lithuania. Luxembourg. Republic of North Macedonia. Madagascar. Malawi. Malaysia. Republic of Maldives. Mali. Malta. Mauritania. Representing Rodriguez. Mauritius. Mexico. Micronesia. Moldova. Monaco. Mongolia. Montenegro. Morocco. Mozambique. Myanmar. Namibia. Republic of Nauru. Nepal. Representing Aruba, Bonaire, Curaçao, and Sint Maarten, Netherlands. Representing Cook Islands, New Zealand, Nicaragua, Niger, Nigeria, Norway, Pakistan, Republic of Palau, Palestine, Panama, Papua New Guinea, Paraguay, Peru, the Philippines, Poland, Portugal, Romania, Russia, Rwanda, Samoa, San Marino, São Tomé e Príncipe, Senegal, Serbia, the Seychelles, Sierra Leone, Singapore, Slovakia, Slovenia, Solomon Islands, South Africa, South Sudan, Spain, Sri Lanka, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Sudan, Suriname, Sweden, Switzerland, Taiwan, Tajikistan, Tanzania, Thailand, Democratic Republic of Timor-Leste, Togo, Tonga, Trinidad and Tobago, Tunisia, Turkey, Uganda, Ukraine, United Arab Emirates. Representing Anguilla, Bermuda, British Virgin Islands, Cayman Islands, Channel Islands Guernsey, Channel Islands Jersey, England, Gibraltar, Isle of Man, Montserrat, Northern Ireland, Scotland, Turks and Caicos Islands, and Wales. The United Kingdom. Representing American Samoa, Guam, Northern Marianas, Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. The United States of America. Uruguay, Vanuatu, Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, Vietnam, Zambia, Zimbabwe. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to present the flag of our President's homeland, India. And now, it is my pleasure to present the flag of our President-elect's homeland, Canada.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. Car ton bras est porté les pires, il s'est porté la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. Par qui par land, glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the one flag that unites us all, the flag of Rotary International. Welcome to the 2022 Rotary Virtual International Assembly. Thank you for joining us. We look forward to today's exciting general session, featuring aide to the Rotary International President-elect and past Rotary International Director, Brad Howard. Partner of the aide to the Rotary International President-elect, Marcia Howard. Rotary International President-elect, Jennifer Jones. Partner of the Rotary International President-elect, Nick Krajicic. A cappella group, Right on Key. Artist, Darren Jones. And your hosts, Robin Reed and John Hanners.
Hello and welcome to the 2022 International Assembly. I'm Robin Reed, and it's my privilege to be one of your co-hosts for this event.
And my name is John Hannes, and I am delighted to be joining Robin as co-host. We are both so excited to help bring you an assembly unlike any other. And we'd like to get started by introducing a very special guest. Take it away.
I so very much wanted you to be together with us in person, celebrating the beginning of our journey together. We always intended to have an in-person assembly this year, but with the advent of the Omicron variant in November, we all know we had to take a second look. We waited as long as we could to see if conditions would improve to the point where we could gather safely, but in the end, that wasn't possible. That left us with the challenge of providing the most enriching learning experience possible in a virtual format. We felt the best approach was to provide the highest quality content and the most rewarding learning experience by setting up a professional studio. We gathered a small group of speakers to deliver their messages to you in an environment that was as close to an in-person assembly as we could manufacture. I want to assure you, we've taken substantial precautions, hired professionals to evaluate our plans. Everyone has been vaccinated, everyone has been tested, everyone is wearing masks, except for when we're on stage. We've created a bubble to minimize our risk. This group of people will be our live audience in today's session, so you're going to hear them laughing and clapping, which will perhaps more closely resemble a live in-person experience. You may recognize some of our studio audience today, since many of you were kind enough to send in your photos to be included. I desperately wish that you were all here, but I am thrilled to share this program. Marie, I think you forgot your mask, so we're going to get that on. But let's pass it back over to our hosts, and let's get this show started.
Well, thank you, President-elect Jennifer. We are preparing for a historic year in 2022-23, a year that will demonstrate that the doors to Rotary leadership are open to everyone. And in this assembly, we're going to show that not only is diversity a core Rotary value, but when we place an additional emphasis on equity and inclusion, our organization will grow even stronger in every corner of the world. We have so much to celebrate, from our new area of focus on the environment to tremendous new progress in our campaign to end polio now. And if we all do our part to tell this great Rotary story, there is no limit to what we can accomplish together.
This is a very special International Assembly that will feature outstanding presenters, some live and some recorded virtually. And we hope you enjoy the work we've put into this production, including the use of 3 different stages. Now, in order to get this special event started, we must begin by introducing 2 very special people. Please welcome aide to the Rotary International President-elect and past Rotary International Director, Brad Howard, and his partner, Marcia.
Introducing our next president and her husband is difficult for Marcia and me because you probably feel that you already know them. Jennifer's warm smile, embracing hug, and the stories she has shared, and Nick's sense of humor and engaging personality help you to feel like you're a part of the family, and family is their essence.
Nick Krajicic is a family physician, an exceptional member of Rotary in his own right. And just last month, he was selected as the 2024-2025 governor for his district. Jennifer, Nick, and Gracie, their dog, are the immediate family. Nearly all of their extended family of parents, siblings, niece, nephew, and in-laws are a member of Rotary, either by title or by heart.
So now, Jennifer is about to head up our big, diverse family, one that has taken inspiration from our grassroots clubs and local leaders, but also from past leaders like Paul Harris, Arch Klump, Glenn Renouf, just to name a few. And while these presidents were extraordinary, I can safely say that Rotary has never seen a leader like our next president. Now, this is not just because she's our first woman president in almost 117 years, but because of who she is. Shortly after she became president nominee, we wanted to get a sense of what Rotary members thought of Jennifer. We reached out to a number of people who know her well to give us 5 words that described her. The first set of words we received were obvious: warm, intentionally kind, gracious, loving, inclusive, genuine, and ethical. And the second set of words rang equally true: inspiring, creative, pragmatic, savvy, persistent, curious, strong, dynamic, and visionary. None of these words surprised me, but the combination was unusual. They described somebody who was both warm and strong, and that's exactly who she is. With Jennifer, you get both. She's a leader that can take you somewhere, and she cares greatly that you will join her in the journey. Please join us in welcoming the partner of our next president, Nick Krajicic, and the person who will lead all of us into a bright new future for Rotary, Jennifer Jones. Have fun.
Thank you. Thank you, Brad, and thank you, Marcia. On August 14th, Nick and I made our way to Evanston, Illinois, home of our Rotary International headquarters and our new home for the next 2 years. I must confess, I was incredibly excited to finally sit in my president-elect office, to work from a space that I have respected for years. It was also nice to work from someplace other than my dining room table. Within the first week, I received a private message from a Rotarian early in the morning. He said, "I'm not sure if you remember me. You've spoken at our club and we met in Hamburg." He went on to say that he had a long-shot favor to ask me. His club had a relationship with a scholar, a peace activist in Kabul, Afghanistan, a young woman who was now in danger. Was there anything I could do to help get her onto an evacuation plane? He told me that smartphones were being confiscated and she was using hers with a private network to mask where she was phoning from. We all remember the scenes as thousands of desperate people were trying to flee from the Kabul airport. From the comfort of my new office and sitting behind my big desk, I suddenly felt very small. Who was I? And what could I possibly do? A few years earlier, Pat Merriweather, one of our incoming Rotary International directors, introduced me to a peace fellow who held the kind of position that could perhaps influence this type of situation. Now, it was my long shot. I reached out, and that certain Rotary magic that we all know so well took over. It's the Rotary Peace Fellow who's the hero of this story. I don't know everything that happened, but in less than 24 hours, the young woman was on an evacuation list. 2 days later, we learned she was safely en route to Europe for further processing. Imagine her thoughts that day as the plane launched into the sky. This, my friends, is the power of Rotary. When the right connections are made, the world aligns and our stories merge. Our differences dissolve, and the only limit to the impact of the barrier is the barrier of our imagination. I want to take you to November 9th, 2014. Nick and I found ourselves on the rooftop of a hotel in Berlin, looking down on over 1 million people. They were there in jubilant celebration at the 25th anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall, also known as the end of the Cold War. Earlier that day, at an event hosted by past President Holger, I met a woman by the name of Tatiana Jury. At the time, 25 years earlier, she was a fresh-faced young radio reporter in the east of Berlin. She shared, "We had no idea what was going on. My news director was having a nervous breakdown, and I didn't know what to do." So she took her tape recorder, and she went out to explore. Because in her words, when you want to grab history, you have to grab history. She saw thousands of people going back and forth between the East and the West. She saw people chipping away at the barrier, and she went back to her newsroom and she filed her story. As I heard Tatiana share this, the power of connection was once again weaving its magic. On that exact same day, I was also a rookie reporter. I was alone in a newsroom in Windsor, Canada. The alarm bells went off, which meant that something significant was happening somewhere in the world. I raced over to the old newswire machine and I read that the Berlin Wall was coming down. The Cold War was ending. And just like Tatiana, I didn't know what to do. But I knew this was history. And when you want to grab history, you have to grab history. I went into the news booth and I shared the incredible news. Imagine the two of us being more than 4,000 miles apart, yet sharing in a world-altering experience. So 25 years later, when Tatiana and I met, we shared some tears. I don't know whether the Newswire story was hers, but I choose to believe that it was. Only when we live in shared experience like this can we create world peace through understanding. And that world can only manifest when we commit ourselves to equity, human rights, and fairly allocating community resources. Or perhaps, as we all best know it, being fair to all concerned. As we strive to weave diversity, equity, and inclusion into Rotary, removing the barriers is the key to inclusion, and inclusion is the key to membership. Well, this may seem like a new call to action. It is not new thinking. I want you to listen to the actual recording of our founder, Paul Harris, in 1933 at our 24th annual convention. Have a listen.
Rotary is thrown open to representatives of all walks of life, to representatives of all countries and all forms of religion. Herein lies the genius and the glory of Rotary. While Rotarians differ in many respects, in two respects, they are in perfect accord.
We are all in perfect accord. A few years ago, I was interviewed on an American television program. Just prior to the start of the taping, the host revealed something striking. He had been a Rotarian for over 30 years, but it was only recently that he got Rotary. He became involved in a project that delivered coats to children in his community. And for the first time, it all clicked. He saw firsthand the power of service, and he truly became engaged. He even went on to serve as a club president. Imagine more than 1,500 club meetings before he finally got Rotary. So what lesson does this offer us? We must engage our members. My hometown, Windsor, is the automotive capital of Canada. I know my way around a shop floor, and I was raised in this highly competitive marketplace. When something wasn't working, we retooled. A plant would shut down for a couple of months to prepare for new parts or an enhanced model. The past few decades have been tough. Plants have shut down due to competitive market forces. Tens of thousands of jobs were lost, never to be replaced. So, what do you do in this kind of situation? You adapt. It's taken time, but our community is now a world-class leader in agribusiness and cutting-edge medical and aerospace technology. We too must adapt and retool. Finding the right part to engage each member should be our core function. It comes down to the comfort and care of our members. A few years ago, my friend Bronwyn Stevens took me to a school in Melbourne. It was there that I met a young interactor named Peter. He told me, if you want responsible children, you have to give them responsibilities. Peter was on to something important. We don't have a problem bringing members into Rotary. We struggle to keep them. We're a revolving door in every part of our world. We need to ask our members what they want out of their experience, and then we need to provide them with meaningful responsibilities. It's our offer of hands-on service, personal growth, leadership development, and lifelong friendships that create purpose and passion. These are our responsibilities. If we don't serve our members, we don't serve our communities. And if we don't provide comfort and care for our members, they may never truly get the power of Rotary. And please understand, when I use the term members, it means Rotary and Rotaract. We are all Rotary members. We have been entrusted with leadership in our great organization. Now it's up to us to be brave and intentional in our actions and to let others help us lead. I am thrilled today to announce that starting on July 1st of this year, I have appointed a Rotaractor with the responsibility of becoming a Rotary Public Image Coordinator. I have officially included Rotaractors on several committees, and during our term, I'll begin to assign a select group of Rotaractors as President's representatives. President Shaker launched our Empowering Girls initiative last year, and it has resonated around the world. We will continue this bold effort, recognizing that empowered girls become empowered women. We have less than a year and a half to achieve the board-set target of 30% women in Rotary. We've come a long way, and already more than 110 countries have achieved this goal. That said, we have a long way to go, and 30% is the next stop on the way to 50. And you know, our members in Rotaract have already achieved this distinction. Speaking of embracing the different and unique, new clubs, and especially new club models, are vital to growing Rotary. I need your help. I need your help with this. And I'm asking each of you to help form at least 2 new innovative or cause-based clubs during your term as governor. And then, and perhaps most importantly, instill in them and your existing clubs too, our comfort and care philosophy. Let's make sure we engage our members so they love their clubs and their Rotary experience. While we work to innovate Rotary from within, we're going to also place a special emphasis on raising Rotary's profile in the world, holding a global impact tour that celebrates our achievements. We're going to actively connect with thought leaders and world leaders in dialogue about how we can work together to address the world's most pressing challenges. Rotary opens these doors, and we need to harness our connections to deepen these relationships and create new partnerships. And the best part is, this can happen at every level of leadership. We all feel the impact that Rotary service and Rotary values have on us. Now it's our opportunity to share that feeling with others. I remember attending a Rotary meeting in Korea, and while I didn't understand the language, there was this wonderful moment when they started speaking in unison. It was clear from the staccato rhythm that they were reciting the four-way test. I felt comfort in that moment, the kind of comfort that comes from familiarity. Our core values, our traditions, our heritage, these are powerful things that we hold true yet build upon as we imagine how we can be so much more. 50 years ago, an anthem was recorded that included this beautiful line. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hear that lyric as a call to action. We all have dreams, but acting on them is a choice. And when organizations like ours dream big things like ending polio and creating peace, it becomes our responsibility to make these dreams a reality. Imagine a world that deserves our best, where we get up each day knowing that we can make a difference. You don't imagine yesterday, you imagine tomorrow. Imagine a world without polio. Imagine a world with clean water for everyone. Imagine a world free of disease, a world where every child learns to read. Imagine kindness and hope and love and peace. And that's, my dear friends, why our theme is Imagine Rotary. Thank you. Thank you. Imagina Rotary. Imaginons le Rotary. Imagina i Rotary. Imagine Rotary. Sang sang hara Rotary. Imagina u Hotari. Shang shang fulun. I hope that it's meaningful in all of our languages. There is a great line in the song from the Broadway musical Rent. 525,600 minutes. How do you measure a year in a life? Some of you may be familiar with this play, or some of you may be more familiar with the Puccini opera that inspired it, La Bohème. My friend, sitting Governor Michelle Barrere, recently challenged a bunch of us to think about how each one of us gets the same number of minutes. How we choose to live them is the important question. On July 1, the clock starts ticking. How will you use these minutes?
$525,600 minutes, 525,000 moments, oh dear. 525,600 minutes. How do you measure a year? in daylights, in sunsets, in midnights, in cups of coffee, in inches, in miles, in laughter and strife, in 525,600 minutes. How do you measure a year in a life? How about love? How about love? How about love? Measuring love. Seasons of love. Seasons of love. 525,600 minutes. 525,000 journeys to plan. 525,600 minutes. How do you measure the life of a woman or a man?
Truth that she learned, or tears that he cried,
In bridges he burned, or the way that she died. It's time now to sing out, though the story never ends. Let's celebrate, remember the year in the life of friends. How about love? You've got to remember love. How about love? You know, love is the gift that comes from God. How about love? Share love, give love, spread love. Measure your life, measure your life in love. Seasons of love. Seasons of measure your life in love.
Weren't those singers wonderful? Now that you've had a few minutes to sit with the words and some music supporting our theme, I wanted to take a step back and explain our theme visuals. I believe there will be many ways for people to interpret the design, and that's perfect. There's lots of positive imagery and no right or wrong way to explain it. One thing that I really wanted to accomplish this year was to have a familial relationship between our theme logo and our convention logo. So knowing that Melbourne is our convention destination, it seemed only natural to reach out and connect with an Australian artist. Ricky Salem is an Indigenous artist with deep ties to the people of that land. We met virtually several times, and it was amazing to hear him explain the importance of each element. As he shared, the circle in Aboriginal culture signifies our connections to one another. The dots around it represent people, and there are 7 because of our areas of focus. The circle and the dot together become a navigation star, and it's our guiding light. The solid line underneath is what's referred to as a digging stick, and it's used when doing hard work. For us, as people of action, it represents a tool for getting things done. You'll also notice the colors: purple, green, and white. These are the same colors I've asked you to focus on instead of selecting a theme jacket. As we celebrate diversity, equity, and inclusion, I wanted all of us to be able to express ourselves differently in what we wear, but to still have a connection. There are several ways to interpret the colors, and quite easily, they could mean purple for polio, green for the environment, and white for peace. Together, as many of you have already guessed, they're the colors of the women's movement, and for me, a subtle nod to this history. Interestingly, just a few weeks ago, the Pantone Company announced a very similar purple tone as their color of the year. They described it as literally the happiest and warmest of all the blue hues. It's because of the red undertone. It introduces a feeling of empowerment and newness. And while we don't have a jacket this year, we do have a tie, and a scarf. A few minutes back, I described the family relationship between the convention logo and our theme logo. Well, there's a family tie to this artist as well. These accessories were inspired by the work of a wonderful Chicago-based artist named Darren Jones, my brother. Please welcome him to the stage. Darren has created a wonderful painting, and I think we're going to take a look right now at it so you can see how our theme materials were inspired.
Let's do it.
Come on, let's do it. I always love a good unveiling. So, on the count, I am. On the count of three. One, two, three. So,
thank you.
Darren, why don't you tell us a little bit about the painting?
Absolutely. So the theme painting I created is considered a mixed media contemporary abstract piece on a wood panel. For this particular painting, the layers of texture included beach sand from our family cottage in Ontario, plaster, industrial staples, and shredded papers. The paper was extracted from the Rotary website to include the objects of Rotary and the four-way test. If you look closely, the placement of the paper creates a more formalized grid pattern from the top and moves to more of an abstract and random feel at the bottom. I've done this purposely to represent the movements in life, from the planned to the unexpected.
So, as you can see, the material is a facsimile. Actually, it's actually the painting. And we have also something that Nick is going to bring out in just a second so I can show you the tie. And I'm very excited to share with you that each of you are going to receive a signed, numbered, limited edition print valued at $800. Honey, come on over here so they can see the tie. So each of you are going to receive one of these frame prints, as I said, valued at $800. I encourage you to frame them, to use them as a fundraising tool for polio. Get creative and see what you can do to raise excitement and valuable funds for polio. Thank you so much for the gift that you have given us.
Thank you. It's been an honor.
My dear governors, I want to thank you for your leadership. We have an exciting path ahead of us and so much that we are going to accomplish together as we imagine Rotary.
What a lovely and inspiring speech. Imagine Rotary is such a wonderful theme because that's what Rotary is all about, imagining how to make the world a better place, and then turning those visions into reality. We are eager to hear what you think. Let us know by joining President-elect Jennifer in a one-of-a-kind Zoom immediately after this session. We want to hear your thoughts on the speech, the theme, the logo, and all that Imagine Rotary means to you.
Well, I can't wait to tune in. Tomorrow, you'll be able to access the International Assembly site where you can network with other attendees in Connect for Fellowship, pick up a theme item or two in the marketplace, and update your profile. Be on the lookout for a Know Before You Go email today and a link to visit the site tomorrow. Thank you very much for joining us. Stay safe, and we look forward to seeing you at our next general session.